Hello and welcome to the Work.Rest.Pray podcast. There was a certain beauty about the death of Pope Francis taking place after his last public appearance on the most important day of the Christian year. I imagine I'm not the only one who feels that when he went to the balcony and then through the waiting crowds, Pope Francis knew exactly what he was doing, and that in so doing it, he could say, "It is finished." A life's vocation complete, a simple echo of his and our Lord's last words on the cross. As with anyone in a position of leadership, Pope Francis had his admirers and those who were not. Undoubtedly, he brought different approaches and skills to this unpaid position of responsibility and spiritual leadership. He both challenged the status quo and maintained it. He admitted his own failings and apologised for those committed by the Church. From daily phone calls to clergy in Gaza to washing the feet of criminals, he was a pope unlike any other. He dared to be different. As mourners gather for his funeral, many have been reflecting on the past pontiff and speculating about the next. There will be cynicism and criticism, comment and rumour. Whoever is subsequently chosen by the conclave's cardinals will face both a privileged and an unenviable task. Meanwhile, at snail's pace by comparison, the Anglican Church seeks to find its next holder of responsibility and spiritual leadership. The cynicism and criticism, comment and rumour are already well established, as the Church, it could be argued, seeks to deal with the fact that the last Archbishop of Canterbury didn't get to say, "It is finished." Like you, I expect, I've worked with, met and observed many people in leadership. Some, as one would also expect, had an approach which was better than others. I myself have held several leadership roles in different settings. Like those I've worked with, met and observed, my approach has been better in some cases than in others. I've been admired and not. So, what makes a good leader? I'd like to suggest two things: clarity and humility. I've written before on my blog about one of my own managers, Christine. One always knew where one stood with Christine. She had a clarity about what she wanted. It was communicated well. Her staff felt both led and supported. She was approachable and listened well both pastorally and to differing opinions. And I can recall many examples of humility in leadership. One such was when I opened the door to our home and there stood two men from the local water company. One went about the task of checking the meter, while the other engaged me in conversation. After a while he said, "I'm the chief executive, and I spend time each month going around with people who do the work." We have all seen the effects of lack of clarity and lack of humility from leaders, not least at this present moment on the world stage, and how that causes uncertainty and confusion. St. Benedict writes about how those in leadership are deemed to be as Christ to those they lead. People in leadership positions, he indicates, are not only to teach in line with God's instructions, but are to be distinctly mindful of the influence they have upon others. And as John Bardoni writes, humility is an approach to life that says, "I don't have all the answers, and I want your contribution." Humility is the acceptance of individual limitations. It is perhaps only when we recognise our limitations that we can truly take on the responsibility of leadership. It is perhaps only when people can see we are clearly humble that we can truly say, "It is finished."